You wake up, put your feet on the floor, and your legs tell the truth before your thoughts do. There's a small negotiation with the knees. The hips stall for half a second. The first few steps feel like someone borrowed a little strength from the night and didn't return it. For years you've been told that this is just how it goes after 70. That muscle loss is a one-way street, and your job is to accept a smaller life. But the body has a different rulebook. Even now, your muscles still respond to clear, repeatable signals. Give them the right signal every day. One simple move performed with care, and you can keep the strength that lets you stand up without searching for a hand, climb a step without rehearsing it, and walk with a stride that feels like yours. Tonight I'm going to show you that move, teach you the exact way to perform it, and build it into a routine that takes minutes, protects your joints, supports your circulation, and, done consistently, helps keep your legs strong after 70. Let's start with a truth that releases a lot of pressure. Muscle loss in later life is not a moral failure or a character flaw. It is a communication problem. With age, the build and repair switch in muscle becomes harder of hearing. The casual signals that worked at 40, walking a bit here, lifting a bag there, turn into background noise. What used to whisper must now speak clearly. The signal your legs understand best is steady tension applied with good alignment. Not pounding, not speed, not a boot camp, just a daily deliberate request that tells your thighs and hips, we still need you for standing, for stairs, for balance, for independence. The move you're about to learn delivers that signal without complicated equipment, without kneeling on sore joints, and without spiking your heart rate at a time of life when calm control is the safer path to strength. The move has a simple name you'll remember, the daily sit to stand with a hover pause. It looks ordinary, and that's the point. Getting up from a chair is the movement you perform the most in real life, so strengthening it pays dividends every single day. What makes this version special is the way we slow it down, where we pause, and how we breathe. Those details wake the fibers that aging steals first, protect the knee joint, and train balance without wobble. Here's how to set up so your body trusts the process from the first second. Choose a sturdy chair without wheels and place it so the back touches a wall. If the seat is low, put a firm cushion or folded towel on it. Your body learns best when the first reps feel successful. Stand in front of the seat with the backs of your calves just an inch from the edge. Place your feet about hip width apart, toes turned slightly out so your knees have room to track. Lift your chest softly as if a string at the crown of your head is pointing you to the horizon. Now, before you move, place your fingertips on the chair seat or a countertop in front of you, not to pull yourself up, but as a safety rail for confidence. Safety tells your nervous system to allow strength. Begin the descent with your hips, not your knees. Imagine your hips are the hinge of a door and your spine is the door itself, moving as one piece. Send the hips back as if you're reaching for the seat with your backside while your chest stays gently proud. Let your knees bend and travel over the line of your second toes without collapsing inward. Keep your heels heavy, like you're leaving fingerprints on the floor with the back of your feet. Breathe in through your nose for a slow count of 3 as you lower. When you barely touch the seat, don't fall into it. Instead, hover 1 inch above it for a quiet count of 2. Then press your feet into the floor and exhale for a count of 3 as you rise to stand tall. Hips open, knees softly straight, chest lifted, chin level. That's 1. The magic lives in the control down, the small hover, and the steady exhale up. Control teaches joint alignment. The hover wakes the powerful fibers that prevent falls. The exhale keeps blood pressure steady and turns effort into calm strength. If balance worries you, keep one fingertip on a counter and position the chair behind you so there's always a safe landing. If your knees complain at the bottom, raise the seat height so the joint isn't forced into a deep angle yet. If your hips feel stiff, spend 30 seconds beforehand marching in place and making 10 gentle hip circles each way to lubricate the joint. If your back starts giving opinions, lengthen your neck and think tall through the crown so you don't fold forward. This is not a test of toughness. It's a lesson in clean movement. Now the prescription, simple and powerful. Perform 2 sets a day, 5 or 6 days a week. In each set, complete 8 to 10 slow sit-to-stands, each with a tiny hover. Move at this tempo, 3 counts down, 2 counts hover, 3 counts up, 1 count tall. Rest for 45 to 60 seconds between sets. If you're brand new or recovering from illness, start with 1 set a day for the first week. The goal is not exhaustion. The goal is clarity. If you can do 12 or more with perfect technique and your breath never feels chased, that's your cue to progress by lowering the cushion a little or pausing the hover for 3 steady counts instead of 2. Small changes send big messages. There's a reason I'm strict about tempo and breath. Older bodies sometimes hold the breath during effort. That spikes pressure and turns a friendly strength drill into a stress test. Your rule is to let the breath lead the move. Inhale as you lower, whisper the air out as you stand. Quiet face, soft jaw, relaxed eyes. When your breath is the metronome, your muscles learn to work under control. That's the kind of strength that keeps you safe on uneven sidewalks and in busy kitchens. What should it feel like? By the 3rd or 4th repetition, your thighs should feel warm and alert, as if someone turned the lights on inside the muscle. By the 6th or 7th repetition, your legs will whisper, "I'm working," and your mind may want to hurry. Don't. The hover exists to teach you that your legs can hold themselves and you quietly and steadily. Slight shaking is normal at first. It's a sign that dormant fibers are joining the team again. Sharp pain is a stop sign. Honor it and raise the seat, or shorten the range next time. Most people discover that what made them dread squats in the past was uncontrolled speed and unnecessary depth, not the movement itself. When you hinge, hover, and breathe, your joints become your allies. You might be thinking, will this really help stairs, curbs, and getting up from low seats? Yes, because you are training the exact pattern those tasks demand. Sit to stand builds your quadriceps, glutes, and hamstrings in the coordinated way life asks for them. The hover recruits the fast twitch fibers that keep you from collapsing into a seat or losing a step. The tall finish reinforces posture so you don't live bent forward. Do it daily and you'll notice your hands stop searching for an armrest. Your foot finds the step with more confidence and your stride length returns a little at a time. Progress is a ladder you can climb without guesswork. When you own 2 sets of 8 to 10 with perfect shape, add a gentle calf raise at the top of each stand. Rise onto the balls of your feet for 1 slow count, lower your heels with control, then start the next rep. Calf raises strengthen the anti-trip system at your ankles and support circulation in your lower legs. When that's easy, you can hold a small hardback book to your chest during the set. Not because weight is the goal, but because a little load asks more from hips and thighs without straining the hands. When even that feels smooth, shift to a touch and go pattern. Allow a feather light touch to the seat before the hover, then rise. The seat is your safety, not your target. Let me help you place this move inside a day that already has plenty in it. Do 1 set in the morning while the kettle warms or before you sit for breakfast. Pairing strength with a real breakfast gives your muscles the building blocks they need to use the signal you just sent. After 70, muscles respond better when they receive a clear load plus enough protein. For most older adults, that means 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast. 2 eggs with Greek or soy yogurt and a few nuts, or a protein smoothie with milk or soy milk and berries, or a tofu scramble with vegetables and a slice of whole grain toast. If appetite is light, make it small but real. Half a cup of yogurt with seeds beats coffee alone. Do your second set later, before lunch if you feel sleepy midday, or in the afternoon to shake out stiffness before a walk. If evenings are your calm hour, a set before dinner followed by a short stroll is a friendly pattern for circulation and blood sugar. Speaking of strolls, your sit-to-stands work even harder for you when you pair them with 10 minutes of easy walking after meals. That little walk blunts the sugar wave from food, supports circulation in your legs, and reinforces the message to your muscles that they are used daily. You don't need a park. Hallways count. The body cares about timing more than scenery. Food, then a tiny walk. Repeat most days, and watch how your evening legs feel calmer and your morning steps feel steadier. Some of you carry stories in your knees. Here's how to make the move yours. Keep the stance slightly wider and the toes gently out so your thighs can track naturally. Put more of the early work in your hips by deliberately sending them back as you start the descent. You should feel weight in your heels, not pressure on your kneecaps. Reduce depth at first. Half a sit is still a sit when the tempo and hover are honest. If a replaced knee lives in your history, you already know your safe range. Honor it. If your hips are the ones voicing concerns, make your tall finish truly tall. Glutes lightly on, ribs stacked over pelvis, so the joint opens completely at the top. If your back gets chatty, think of keeping the spine long and the belly gently braced, as if fastening the middle hole of a soft belt. What you're doing here is not grinding through pain. You're teaching joints and muscles to share the load again. Balance deserves its own attention because confidence is what really returns people to the lives they miss. The sit to stand itself is balance training in disguise. You move your center of mass down and forward, then up and back while controlling a narrow base. If you want a whisper more balance challenge without risk, add a 1-second stillness at the top of each stand with your hands hovering just above the counter, weight even in both feet, eyes on the horizon. That single second teaches ankles and hips to talk to each other. Over time, it turns into fewer saving steps when a bus jolts or a grandchild hands you something unexpectedly. Track something small so you can see what your evenings and mornings are building. On day 1, note how many smooth reps you complete in your first set before your shape starts to wobble. Most people land between 8 and 10 when they keep the tempo. Jot the number on a sticky note. Check again in 2 weeks. Maybe you'll see an extra rep, or a hover that shakes less, or a finish that feels taller. You can also measure life markers that matter more. How many times in a day you stand without using your hands. How easily you climb the second step on your porch. Whether you still avoid the lower chair in the living room. Numbers help, but wins you can feel are the fuel that keep routines alive. Now I want to place this daily move inside a larger, kinder plan, so your legs receive consistent support from the rest of you. Hydrate earlier in the day so your muscles aren't working in a drought. Keep a glass of water visible in the morning and early afternoon. Then taper in the evening if nighttime bathroom trips steal your sleep. Make midday your bigger meal when you can. Late heavy dinners ask your body to digest when it wants to repair. Front load your protein across the day. Breakfast and lunch count more than the giant dinner many people rely on. Sleep like it's medicine, because for muscle maintenance it is. Dim the house an hour before bed. Keep the room cool and quiet and protect your first deep sleep cycle. That's when the repair you asked for with your sit to stands is most likely to happen. And give your legs the friendly environment they deserve. Shoes that fit and support you, a floor without surprise rugs, light where you need it, and rails where stairs are unforgiving. Strength thrives in a home that says, I've thought about you. People often ask about pain relief and whether everyday anti-inflammatories are a good idea around exercise. Many older adults find that a warm pack on the thighs for 5 minutes before a set and a cool pack for 5 minutes after a longer walk reduce stiffness without complicating the body's repair signals. Gentle heat, gentle cold, gentle motion. Those 3 beat daily pills for a lot of folks. If you do take medicines, take them as prescribed and ask your clinician or pharmacist how they fit with your circulation and kidney health. Your goal is comfort that cooperates with your long game. Let me bring this to life with a few short stories that mirror real evenings and mornings. Picture Rosa, 73, who hated exercise but loved her morning coffee. She put a chair against the wall near her kitchen and made a pact. Kettle on, 1 set before the water boiled. At first she hovered for a single count and counted out loud to keep her pace honest. 2 weeks later she realized she no longer pushed on her thighs to stand from the sofa. The set started to feel like brushing her teeth, small, ordinary, non-negotiable. Or think of Matteo, 76, whose left knee had opinions after an old injury. He raised the seat with a cushion and widened his stance a hair. He kept 1 fingertip on the counter the first week. When the hover made his legs tremble, he smiled and breathed like he was fogging a window. A month in, he took the cushion away and surprised himself by standing from a low church pew without planning it first. Consider Eleanor, 71, who feared stairs after a winter slip. She did her sets before lunch and again in the late afternoon, then walked her hallway for 6 minutes while music played. Spring came, and she noticed she reached for the stair rail out of habit, not necessity. That was the day she decided her legs were on her side again. There are a few myths to set down so they stop stealing progress. If it doesn't hurt, it's not working. False. At our age, pain is not proof. Precision is proof. A clean sit to stand with a steady breath and a quiet hover is doing far more for your life than a fast, sloppy set that leaves your joints complaining. I missed a day, so I failed. False. You're training for seasons, not for streaks. Return the next day. Bodies at 70 respond to the next wise choice, not to guilt about the last one. If I can't go deep, it doesn't count. False. Depth is a tool, not a religion. The right depth is the one that lets you own alignment, breath, and control. The range can grow as your strength and trust grow. Walking is enough. Walking is wonderful for your heart, mood, and circulation. It does not replace the specific joint-friendly tension your thighs and hips need to stay strong for standing and stairs. Keep walking and add this small daily signal. Because safety keeps routines alive, here are clear lines to respect. Stop and get checked if you feel chest pain, severe breathlessness that doesn't settle with rest, sudden dizziness or fainting, or pain that is sharp, hot, or swollen in a joint. If you've had recent surgery, a fresh injury, or a fall, ask for clearance and precise limits. Make the move, accommodate your reality, not the other way around. If blood pressure or blood sugar control is part of your plan, keep your usual monitoring. You'll likely discover that small strength work and tiny after-meal walks help those numbers behave. If balance is a tender topic, do your sets with the chair behind you and a countertop in front of you, and invite a family member to be present the first few times. Confidence grows fastest when it grows safely. Now place this into a rhythm you don't have to think about. Choose a cue you already do daily and attach your set to it. Kettle on, set 1. Dishes done, set 2. Newspaper down, set 2. If you like music, pick a song and use its first verse as your tempo. The hover happens on the held note before the chorus. If you're a list person, draw 6 small boxes on a paper calendar for the week. Fill one when you complete your daily work. When 4 or more are filled, you kept your promise to your legs. If you travel, look for a breakfast room chair with a firm seat and repeat the pattern. Portability is power. You might be asking, how soon will I feel the difference? In days, you'll notice you stand more deliberately and your posture feels a touch taller after each set. In a couple of weeks, the second half of a flight of stairs will feel less like a negotiation. By 3 to 6 weeks, most people report that getting up from low, soft seats becomes something they do, not something they plan. The biggest change is inside your head, the quiet return of trust. You stop bracing for weakness. You start moving like someone who still lives on their feet. Let me compress this to the sentence you can tape to your refrigerator. Every day, hinge back, hover, and rise with a calm breath. 2 sets of sit-to-stands done slowly and cleanly. Then feed the work with a real breakfast and keep your legs in the story with short after-meal walks. That's it. That is the daily move and the small circle around it that keeps strength from slipping away after 70. Before you close your eyes tonight, set the chair against the wall where you'll see it in the morning. Put a sticky note on the seat that says 2 sets, calm breath. In the morning, when your feet meet the floor, let that note be your first choice. Lower with control. Pause like you trust your legs, and rise like you're greeting the day. If you feel proud of one thing before noon, let it be that you sent your body the signal it's been waiting for. Then tell someone you love what you're doing. Invite them to try a set beside you. Strength grows faster in company. Your legs are still listening. Give them a message worth repeating.